Okay, so let's dive into a family drama of truly epic proportions. This is a story where dreams turn into total nightmares, and one single trip down a dusty road ends up changing history forever. You're about to see the exact moment Joseph's entire world just shatters.
And it all kicks off with just a few words, absolutely dripping with contempt. Look, here comes that dreamer. This isn't just some simple sibling rivalry, folks. This is the fuse being lit on a full-blown conspiracy. And it shows you the bitter resentment that's been simmering right under the surface for years.
So our story starts in the Valley of Hebron. On paper, it should be a peaceful place, right? I mean, it's a land of green pastures, and Jacob's family is well known for their strength. But underneath all that, a father's really obvious favoritism is casting a long, dark shadow over everything.
And this is where you can really see the conflict laid out. On one side, you've got Jacob's intense love for Joseph, and it's all symbolized by that incredible famous coat. And on the other side, well, the direct result of that love. A hatred so deep, so corrosive, that his brothers literally can't even manage to say one kind word to him. That coat isn't just a gift, it's a giant target on his back.
And look, we've got to be honest here. Joseph isn't just some innocent, passive victim in all of this. At 17, he is actively fanning the flames. He's bringing back bad reports about his brothers to their dad, and he's carrying himself with this air of superiority, totally convinced he's meant for bigger and better things. He's not just wearing the coat, he's flaunting it.
And if that wasn't enough to cause a problem, here comes the next big accelerant, Joseph's dreams. And we're not talking about just any dreams. These are visions of the future, which, by the way, he shares with a complete and totally dangerous lack of humility.
His first dream is, well, it's shockingly blunt. He tells his brothers that their bundles of wheat all bow down to his bundle. I mean, the symbolism is impossible to miss. It's a straight-up prophecy that he's going to rule over them one day.
So how do you think his brothers reacted to that? Yeah, with pure rage. There's no gray area here. They don't hear a message from God. They hear pure, unfiltered arrogance. This isn't just jealousy anymore. Their hatred is hitting a boiling point.
You'd think he'd learn his lesson, right? Nope. His second dream is even bigger, even grander. This time, it's not just his brothers, the 11 stars, but his father and mother, the sun and moon, bowing to him. In his head, this is just more proof of his awesome destiny. To them, it's the ultimate act of ego.
Now, Jacob's reaction here is really fascinating. In public, he scolds Joseph, trying to put out the fire of jealousy he sees raging in his other sons. But in private, he doesn't dismiss the dreams at all. He holds on to them, quietly wondering if maybe, just maybe, his favorite son's visions are actually true. And this is it. This is the point of no return. A simple request from a concerned father, go check on your brothers, unwittingly sends Joseph walking straight into a trap. This one journey is about to shatter their family completely.
The whole plot unfolds with this chilling, calculated precision. First, they spot him from way off. That bright, colorful coat makes him an impossible target to miss. Then comes the plan. Simeon, always the hothead, immediately says, "Let's kill him." Reuben, the oldest, tries to calm things down. He suggests throwing him in a pit alive, but he's secretly planning to come back and rescue him later. But it's too late. The momentum is there. They grab Joseph. They rip that symbol of his father's love right off his back, and they throw him into the darkness of a pit.
You can just imagine Joseph's desperate cries echoing from that pit. He's begging for mercy, pleading with them, reminding them they're family. They share the same blood. But their response is colder than you can imagine. They just walk away to go eat, deliberately ignoring his pleas.
And just when you think it absolutely cannot get any worse, the whole situation spirals completely out of their control. A random, chance encounter with a passing caravan turns this personal, hateful crime into a cold, heartless business deal.
So get this. Before the brothers can even figure out what to do next, a group of Midianite traders just happens to find Joseph in the pit and pull him out. A super tense standoff breaks out, but Simeon ends it. He lets out this terrifying shout, a raw display of power so intense, it literally forces the traders to their knees, ready to negotiate.
So what's the price for their brother? What does his life, his future, his entire identity come down to? This, a stark, cold number, 20 pieces of silver. At this point, Joseph isn't even a person anymore. He's just cargo. The Midianites are terrified of Simeon and his brothers, and they want nothing to do with this whole situation. So they find another caravan, this one of Ishmaelites, and they sell Joseph again for the exact same price, just to get him off their hands.
Okay, so now we're on the road with Joseph, on this brutal journey to Egypt. And this isn't just a physical road. It's a path of unbelievable suffering, complete isolation, and some really strange, terrifying miracles.
As Joseph weeps, the Ishmaelites beat him to try and shut him up. But they learn very quickly that he is not unprotected. Every time they harm him, bam, divine judgment falls. Their hands literally wither, a supernatural darkness rolls in, and a terrifying storm paralyzes them and their animals. The message is brutally clear: you don't mess with this boy.
But the absolute emotional peak of this journey, man, it happens when they pass his mother Rachel's grave. Joseph just collapses on it, and all his grief comes pouring out in this desperate cry. He's begging his dead mother to see what's happening to him, to weep with him, to plead his case before God.
And right there, at his absolute lowest point, something truly impossible happens. A sorrowful voice actually answers him from the grave. It doesn't promise a rescue, though. It gives him a command: to endure. It tells him to have hope, to trust that God is with him, and to keep going down to Egypt. All right, so the story cuts back to Hebron now, where the final and most cruel act of this whole tragedy is about to play out. The brothers are coming home, but not with Joseph. They're coming home with a carefully crafted lie that's designed to cover up their crime forever.
And their cover-up, wow, it's just so cruel and methodical. They kill a goat, soak that famous coat in its blood, and have it presented to their father. The second Jacob sees the tattered, bloody garment, he knows exactly what it is, and he just collapses. The brothers then show up to complete the lie, claiming they just found it on the road, sealing a conspiracy that is going to haunt their family for decades. And Jacob's reaction, it is just pure, unfiltered agony. His cry says it all. He tears his clothes, puts on sackcloth, and he refuses any and all comfort from anyone, totally convinced that he will carry this unbearable sorrow all the way to his grave. The brothers didn't just get rid of Joseph, they have completely and utterly broken their father.
And so that leaves us with this one huge, haunting question. With Joseph sold into slavery and Jacob completely lost in a grief that's built on a terrible deception, this family is absolutely shattered. The real question isn't just about what's going to happen to Joseph anymore. It's how can any family possibly recover when a lie this deep is buried right at its very heart?